Good morning, everyone. So, today we'll start with our session of All India AIPMT 1. Okay, and I will take a CSAT session in that, and it will be followed by the math session and logical reasoning session, which will be taken by Vaibhav sir. Now, the thing is that I don't think so there was any scope for the mistake in this paper, because largely the paper was very elementary, very straightforward, and you see, probably even after just a single reading and even half reading, you can do the questions. Okay, so it was just for taking you into the groove of things, at least that so that you can start the paper. So directly we will come to the question. Okay, now the first question is, you see that you read the para. Okay, so you must have read the para, and if we will go by it into the option, the first option in this case is they tend to have a high number of product in the developmental pipeline. So you see that this states that only a few product. So by the very virtue of it, the statement in itself is wrong. They tend to have a high number of product, and it states that only have a few product in the developmental pipelines. So this directly contradicts the questions, the statement A. Okay, so that's why you see that this statement is itself wrong. Now they are typically not prevalent in India. Again, you see that a very straightforward outcome. So again, this part is wrong. They are frequently neglected and receive suboptimal investment. Yeah, this is right. And this is right. This is right because in the passage it is written that disease have remained neglected and have suboptimal investment. So you see that it is directly supported by option C. Now the fourth statement, which is the primarily affect tropical region other than India, no questions of it. Okay, so it was directly straightforward. So just by the basic reading of it, you can solve this question. Now, coming to the question 2, based on the information provided in the passage, which of the following can be inferred regarding India's approach addressing disease prevalent? Okay, so in this case, if we consider option A, so you see option A does not automatically provide specific information about India's investment in the vaccine. So this statement is wrong. India may need to focus on research and development efforts for vaccine due to a lack of foreign investment. So, okay. Now, have you attempted the paper yesterday?
Yes, sir. I went to
the Karol Bagh Center.
Karol Center.
Okay, nice. So, how you find the paper?
Yes, sir.
Easy?
It's not easy, moderates.
Which one? Which section?
Passages.
Passages you find moderate. Okay. So, we are just taking the passages first of all. Okay, after that we will follow. So, we have just explained the first question, and in this first question we have found that why option C was correct, because it was straightforward. Okay, it was directly very straightforward. Now, you see that if you will give the first reading the passage, so you will realize that it is already written. And inference is what? Inference is India may need to focus on the research and development options for vaccines due to lack of foreign investment. It is directly written in the, not directly written, but you see that if the world is not doing, then India is specifically suffering the problem, then this has to be inferred. Huh? Which then? What should be the option? Second B. What do you have attempted?
I didn't attempt this.
Okay, why? Okay, so you see, okay, now if you are facing this kind of problem, I don't think so passage is written in there. Okay. Okay, so it's just largely the answer booklet.
Because
Huh?
I will watch.
Okay, no. No, see, that is not the problem. The problem is that, why we are reading the passage and what we are reading, that is more important than what we are attempting. Okay. So, you have to understand that how to read the passage. Okay, that is more important. See, there could be disease prevalent only in India due to the environment and other factors. Other countries may not have the incentive to invest in the other countries may not have the incentive to invest in the vaccines. So WHO observed that disease associated with the market of little commercial value have remained neglected, have been suboptimal investment, and have only a few products in the developmental pipeline. Okay, so these include disease referred to as neglected tropical disease, for example, dengue and lymphatic filariasis. So you see that problem is not there in the passage. The moment you will read it, okay, this was paper set, this paper was set in keeping in the mind that you will be attempting it for the first time. So largely the options are very easy and everything is directly from the questions. So there is no inference that has to be drawn. Everything is mentioned in the question in one way or other. So what you have to understand is that when you are reading the passages, how you are attempting the paper. What's your name? Vijay. Okay, so how you are attempting the paper, Vijay?
Sir, I got 53 marks.
No. What I am saying that how you are suggesting, and this is for everyone, how you are attempting the CSAT paper. What's your way of an English comprehension? How you are doing it?
From the passage we have to get information, but
what's your general approach?
My approach to CSAT. Passage पे कोई इंफॉर्मेशन दे तो हम ज़्यादा सोचना मतलब जीएस के लिए.
अच्छा नहीं see. And this is for everyone. You see that this in the initial level you can start by doing this like this. First, read the question. You don't have to read the passage. First, read the question itself and the options, questions and of the options. So largely they are a maximum of 2 or 3 questions in the passages, a maximum. So when you will read the passage, questions and options, you will get a basic gist of paragraph. Okay. And the moment you will be able to understand that what this paragraph talks about, then you don't have to read the question again. Only reading the questions and options, after that read paragraph and come and take the answer. This will be as easy as that. More interestingly, whenever you are reading the question, it will always, give a sound to your mind, okay, this is the part. Maybe in the initial level, there is a chances that you might make the mistake, okay, and you may make the mistake, but maybe eventually and gradually you will start improving. Okay? Coming to the second question. The warmest region of the earth, which also happens to be the poorest, were the first to experience changes in extreme temperature as a result of global warming. Risks due to the extreme heats are particularly acute in the countries of these regions. Added to this is the fact that warmer years also tend to be drier. Just read the paragraph. Okay, just fine. Have you attempted this question?
Yes, sir.
Just read the passage first, the answer and question answer first. And then you realize that what we are supposed to do. Just read the question and answers, and after that read the paragraph. What is the first option? That there is no connection between warmer years Tropical regions are, oh sorry, third number, na? Huh. There is no connection between warmer years and dry conditions. Whereas in the passage, it is clearly states that warmer years also tend to be drier. So, option A is wrong. If we consider option B,
No information.
does not provide any information. Whereas the option B is that, provides no information on the relationships between warmer years and dryness. So, it is natural that it will be incorrect. Passage 3. What is the option 3?
Explicitly mentions.
It explicitly mentions the warmer year. Okay? So, it is correct. Option D does not provide any information suggesting it is incorrect. Now, if we come to question 4. So, tropical regions are always cooler than other regions.
No, sir.
States that because of their warmth, tropical regions are at risk. So, it contradicts option A. Option B, it does not provide any information. But however, the passage is describing the temperature characteristics of tropical region. It is describes. So, B is incorrect. Option C.
Colder. Tropical regions are colder.
There is written in the passage that warmth of tropical region. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So, option C is incorrect. Option D.
Suggests.
So, is this right or wrong? Vijay?
Yes, sir, right, sir.
Okay. Now, coming to next question.
Sir, 5th question. Doubts? No.
Implied by the, do you find difficulty in finding this part? Implied. Option A, low income group have contributed most to the climate change.
Least due to the climate change.
So, least. Option B, the passage does not provide any information about the contribution of low income. It is corollary to the first. If you are finding the first part, then you are finding automatically the second part. Option C suggests that low income region have contributed least. Option D. ठीक है? Based on the passage, now next part.
So 5th one is right, right?
Huh.
C.
So have you read that passage?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है? Now attempted it? Okay. So A, women's education in India has significantly contributed since the 19th century. Women's education in India has significantly improved since the 19th century. That have come a long way forward from the experience in ancient India, but it does not specifically addresses the improvement of women's education since 19th century. So option A is
Wrong.
option B. The number of school dropout among girls is steadily decreasing in India. So the passage states that number of school dropout among girls has remained unflinching. Pada?
Yes, sir, unflinching.
Yes. So again option B is wrong. क्या किया था आपने?
B रखा
हाँ?
B रखा
Okay, unflinching है ना? So whenever you get confused between, even if you are comfortable in Hindi, so when you get confused, एक बार option हिंदी पढ़ के देख लो, थोड़ा आइडिया मिल जाता है. अच्छा. Okay. Now, option C, there is a clear and consistent trend towards empowering emancipation of women. है ना? So this could have been the answer. So, while attempting, what were the options you were confused with, Vijay?
Option B and option D, sir.
Because in the option C, there is a paradox that yet it is improving, progress and challenges are also there. That's why option C was confusing. So ultimately, there was confusion between option B and option D. But the very mention of unflinching made the option B wrong. Rituals like Chhat and Savitri Puja no longer play a significant role in Indian society. That these rituals shows no signs of decline or growing in popularity. So what is the option?
Option C.
Just wait a minute, there is confusion. What was the question number again, Vijay?
What is it?
5, na? Okay. You see that एक बार फिर से पढ़ते हैं हम लोग इसे. Okay, there was this some confusion which I haven't seen. Option B is wrong because of the word unflinching, whereas the passage clearly mentioned that the Chhat and Savitri Puja is increasing in popularity. So it is also wrong. So now see, there is a clear and consistent trend towards empowering emancipation for Indian women. So most suitable is C. There is paradox, but most suitable is C only. What was your option? B. Okay. Now, question number 12. From the passage, one can infer that the author believed that A. What was your option, Vijay?
Option B, sir. Parents.
Option? Option B. So this is right. Okay, and if we see the first part, the passage acknowledges both progress and persistent challenge, so it does not support the notion of no lingering issue. Clear hai? No. See, if we read the passage, then what's the passage? We will read it again. Okay, for understand. The struggle for women rights in India, beginning with Savitri Phule in the 19th century, has been one of the most glorious pages of history. Women in India have come a long way for what they experienced under the oppressive patriarchy of ancient India. Means the condition was bad, but now it is improving, isn't it? Yet the number of school dropouts among girls are remained unflinching. It is not changing. The ritual church and Savitri Puja that lead to the perpetuating women's slavery show no signs of decline. Rather, they are growing as a fashion of the day. The phrase missing women brought into the circulation by Amartya Sen is even now the unmistakable characteristics of Indian sociology. Which of these two are closer to the truth about Indian women? Inhuman progress or empowering emancipation? Or is it the paradox to be brushed aside by calling it as a work in progress as yet? Okay, so from the passage one can infer that author leaves behind the Indian progress towards gender equality has been remarkable with no lingering issue. Lingering issue is what? Huh? You see, the lingering issue is that, probably say, for example, gender issues were there, violence against the gender were there. Sir. It happened only in the past. No, it is not happening now. So the lingering is what, that the problem that has happened previously is not there. So this option is automatically wrong, isn't it? Option B. The numbers of school dropouts among girls is steadily decreasing in India. Huh? Oh, sorry. The term missing woman is not a significant concern for Indian society. So, not a missing concern, it is a concern. Option C. Indian women have experienced both inhuman operation and empowering. Yes. The struggle for women's right in India has been a recent development. No. So what was your option again? C, na?
Yes, sir.
C. Okay, now moving to the next passage. Will be question 13. So if we consider option 1 of question 13, the author consider India to be a nation with a single consistent identity. What is the explanation? The passage stresses the variation and diversity within the India. So this option does not align with the author's perspective. B. The author sees India as diverse and pluralistic entity. India is India because of its variation. So option B is correct. Option C. The author believes that India's variation hinders its progress. The passage does not imply that variation hinders progress. Instead, it celebrates the diverse nature of India. It is not implied anywhere in the passage. Option D. The author thinks that India's unity is more important than its diversity. The author mentions that India is India because of its variation, suggesting that diverse is seen as a key component of India's identity. Nahin? Are you confused?
No, sir.
This was right? Okay. What can be inferred about author's views of attempt to simplify the notion of India? There is some problem. The author's views such attempts. The author view that attempts as essentials for understanding India. The passage indicates that attempts to simplify India are likely to end in frustration, not that they are essential. It is written in the passage, if you can find it. B. The author believes that simplification of India's complexity is achievable. What do you think? What are the common sense says? The author mentions that attempt at simplification will result in realizing that the opposite perspective is also valid. है ना? C. The author considers such attempts to be unsuccessful and counterproductive. This aligns with the author's viewpoint as mentioned in the passage. Every attempt at reducing it to a single track is likely to end in a frustrating realization. नहीं हुआ? What have you marked? What have you marked?
I didn't attempt this process.
Why? Is it because of that you are not finding time to attempt it, or you read it and after that you haven't attempted it?
No, sir, it's not time.
Huh?
Time is.
Okay, time. The issue of time was.
I choose मेरा फेवरेट टॉपिक्स होता है ना, वो टॉपिक से वो पैसेज से चूज करके रख ले सकते हैं.
So what do you attempt first?
इसे मैथ्स एंड पैसेजेस.
Maths and passages. Okay.
Combines.
Okay. You got the answer? That is option C is right in that context. And what about option D? The author believes that simplification leads to a better understanding of
India.
सही है गलत है?
Galaxy.
This is contradicted by the author. Na? So probably in the next question I will ask that why it is wrong and why it is right. Okay, so read the next question carefully. Okay, if you have attempted it, read the next question carefully, and then we will try to come at a situation where you will be able to justify your answer. See, you have to find that why every option is right or wrong. That is more important. Okay, so moving to the next question. Question number 21. What is the underlying assumption about the global market for products and services related to GRE based on the passages? What do you say?
Option C.
Option C is correct. Why it is correct? Why other options are not correct?
First option is below $16 billion, but passageway more than $16 billion.
Mm-hmm.
And second option is decrease in the coming decade.
It will increase.
It will increase in the coming decade in the passage. So option C is the no significant impact on individuals' impact.
Mm-hmm.
Individuals.
It was very easy again. है ना? Very easy. Mm-hmm. Direct question was it was based on fact only. Mm-hmm. Question number 22. Based on the passages, what is the assumption regarding the preference for GRE related products over professional counseling? So you see, what is the right option? GRE related products are less effective than the professional counseling. है ना? So the passage mentions concerns over the effectiveness of GRE related products and services and questions why they might be preferred over professional counseling. The very act of questioning the preference suggests that there might be some reservation or doubt about the effectiveness of this product when compared to the professional counseling. While the passage does not directly state it, the implication is there. That's why option B is
Correct.
What have you marked?
B, sir.
B only, na? So you see that it largely it is because of the time which you are. Otherwise, the paper was simple. There was no difficulty in English part, na? Question number 23. Option. The implicitly assumption is clear that social media is platform that needs to be increasingly regulated because of the influencers. The last line, if you will read it, while it is agreeable that their ropes needs to be tightened, they need to be better verified, feel many of the expert. The last line of the passage is this only. Okay. The next question is about 30 performing arts in India. Isn't it? So have you done it? Have you done this? Have you attempted this or not? Okay. And what was your answer again?
31 I put to D, sir.
31D. But it is not right. Why it is not right? Because you see that this passage emphasizes that tangible culture heritage is porous and accommodating, and it is not valued for exclusivity. It also mentioned that these practices could be adapted by communities not traditionally associated with them. Isn't it? Just wait a minute. Question number 23 na?
31.
31. This cursor keeps moving na. Okay. So you see that intangible cultural heritage is mainly concerned with preserving the exclusivity of cultural practices. This is not directly inferred from the passages, because you see that it has written in that way. Intangible cultural heritage is mainly concerned with preserving the exclusivity of cultural practices. Now, this passage states that the question of whether or not a social practices, performing art or ritual is specific to a particular culture, it is unimportant. Are you finding it in the passages? It is unimportant. These are not valued as cultural goods for the exclusivity, but rather could be adopted by communities not traditionally associated with it. The notion of exclusivity negates that option 1. Option A is incorrect in that sense. Second, the commodification of performing art is not relevant to the concept of intangible culture. The passage does not mention the commodification of performing arts in the context of non-liberal items. However, it does not assert that commodification is irrelevant to the concept of intangible culture. Instead, the concern is that commodification in market-oriented might be receiving too much attention at the expense of representativeness and inclusivity. So, it is not directly inferred from the passage. Third, in this case, the passage points out that cultural heritage views heritage as something that is porous and accommodating. It further states that these perspectives could be adapted by communities not traditionally associated with it. Thus, this option is directly supported by the text. Fourth, neoliberal times have resulted in increased regulation of intangible culture. So, the commodification of performing art is in non-liberal times, but does not speak of increased regulation of tangible culture heritage. Culture heritage during this time. Therefore, option D is not inferred from the passage. Moving to the next question. What assumption underlies the passage about the commodification of performing arts in neoliberal times? So, what have you marked? You haven't attempted it, na? Nahi kiya? You see, basically the problem which I identified with you is, if the language is tough, you are not attempting it. If the language of the passage is tough, you are not attempting it. This is the best. This is the problem which I. Option D. Attempted. You have attempted it. You told me that you haven't attempted it.
I attempted, sir. Option D.
Okay. Why option A is wrong?
Related to inclusivity.
The commodification of performing arts in neoliberal times and ways to make it market oriented have received more attention, sidestepping the compelling question about its representations and inclusivity. Okay, so from this perspective, if we consider that the commodification of performing arts has led to the increased exclusivity, so this is not suggested by the passage. Instead, the text implies that focus on commodification might be overshadowing issue of the representative and inclusivity. Second, neoliberal times have no impact on the performing art, which speaks about the commodification of performing arts in neoliberal times, indicating some level of impact. So, automatically. Third, the commodification of performing arts is inherently negative. Inherently negative. The passage does not express concerns about the commodification, sidelining representativeness and inclusivity. It does not outright say that commodification is inherently negative. है ना? So you see that even this is the question which can be answered by simple logic also. Huh? By reading the newspaper. Sometimes it has given advantage, and sometimes it doesn't. In the phase in neoliberal times, fourth option, in neoliberal times, does imply a time frame suggesting that this focus on the commodification and market oriented is tied to the specific period, which can be inferred as a recent phenomena. Okay, so again this was the part. 33rd question. What's your option?
32.
You haven't attempted it. A rise in domination and oppression within classical performing arts. And this can be explained that the field of classical performing art has been sites of domination and oppression. Therefore, commodification of performing arts in neoliberal times might be on increase in domination and oppression within classical performing arts. समझे या नहीं? Sir, which follows from the next, which follows from the previous argument. Question number 5. People are discussing question number 5, which I have seen just now. Okay.
We discussed it, sir.
No, but people are saying that C is the correct answer. Some of the people are saying.
We discussed it. C is the correct answer.
Okay, that's way. Okay. 31C. 31C, 32D, 33rd, which we have already discussed. No?
No, sir.
A rise in domination and oppression within the classical performing arts. We have discussed this just now, na? 33rd D.
33 we didn't discuss it.
Okay.
32 we discussed it.
Acha, no, okay, we have thought that I thought that I have discussed it. No issues. So 33rd, why option A is incorrect?
Decrease emphasis.
Option A says that the commodification of a decreased emphasis on the inclusivity and adaptability of cultural practices. So this passage does not mention that commodification in neoliberal times have sidestepped issues of representativeness and inclusivity. However, this option specifically mentions adaptability, which is not directly addressed in relation with the commodification. Second, and improved representations of cultural heritage in contemporary practices. This is not a direct corollary mentioned or implied by the context of the commodification. Third, an enhanced understanding of cultural practices associated with the performing art. So the passage does not suggest that commodification in neoliberal times have led to an enhanced understanding of cultural traditions. A rise in domination and oppression within classical performing arts. It says that historical classical performing arts have been sites of domination and oppression, and within the commodification sideline issue of representativeness and inclusivity, it can be inferred that there might be a rise on the continuation of domination and oppression in the context. नहीं समझे? So just don't complicate the things. Who listens classical now? Everybody is behind the rap wala part, na? Everybody is behind rap. Most of the people are listening to rap. This is the basic analogy. Okay. Now, question number 41. So, this is from biology. I think that you might find it easier, isn't it? Now, 41. Postmodern scientists reject all traditional species concept. Okay, so this is not suggested by the passage. Instead, what passage is suggesting is that postmodern scientists are open to the multiple concepts. Second, this is supported by postmodern scientists value diversity in species definition. Read it. You will find that it is supported by the text, which suggests that they appreciate the range of definition and consider them tools for understanding. Okay, Vijay? Okay. Third, postmodern scientists always prioritizes genetic distance in their work. Again, this is not supported by the passages. Yes, 41b. Fourth, postmodern scientists disregard the importance of mentorship. This passage does not suggest disregard mentorship. In fact, it mentioned that some scientists obey their mentors. So, the answer is B. Why? Because postmodern scientists values having a range of specific concepts or species concepts available to them and do not consider any of the proposal as necessarily wrong. This indicates that there is an appreciation for diversity and concepts in the field. Question number 42. In the context of passage, what can be reasonably assumed about the role of mentorship in the decision making? What's the option? What's the answer? Everyone. Just don't see the answer booklet. What's the answer? So you haven't attempted it. 41, 42. Okay, no. See, there is this line that there are those who simply obey their masters, as in case of my students. Okay. Some scientist or student in this context make decisions based on what their mentors suggest or believe in. Are you finding it? Look for the line. Then there are those who simply obey their mentors. Then there are those who simply obey their masters, as in case of my students. So, mentors, the first option, mentorship have no impact on the choices made by the scientist. Mentorship play a significant role in guiding some scientists' choices of specific concept. Okay, mentorship leads scientists to reject all traditional specific concepts, completely irrelevant to the passage. Mentorship results in scientists favoring genetic distance above all. है ना? So you see that the mentorship plays a significant role in guiding some scientists' choices of specific concept. So this is the part, and that's why option B is correct. Now, we'll talk about the question number 43. From the passage, which of the following can be inferred about the postmodern approach to the scientific classification?
Species classification.
Sorry. Okay. Okay. Species classification. First, modern scientist emphasizes a single universal accepted species concept. Single universal. Have you now see the options and try to look for these things in the passages. Postmodern scientists are open to variety of classification and concept. This is coming from the first question. Second, they value the diversity of these narratives as tool to understand the world. You have found it? Now part 1. Postmodern scientist emphasizes a single universal. So you have automatically corrected the answer. Oh, you don't have the answers right now as of now. Answers is not given to you. Okay. So you see that this is directly contradicted by the passages, which indicates postmodern scientists are open to the various concepts, because we have done the first question. So this is automatically following from the first question. This is just a repetition of that. Second, postmodern scientists rejects the importance of specific classification. Again, you see, they are looking for what is the line we have told you. They value the diversity of these narratives as tool to understand the world. Postmodern scientists are open to variety of classification and concept. So automatically wrong. Third, postmodern scientist considers multiple narrative and tool for understanding the world. So this is aligning with the demand of the passage, which mentions that multiplication of small narratives as tool to understand the world. Fourth, postmodern scientists believe in rigid, unchanging definition of. You see, probably if the questions would have been of the multiple choice nature, then you could have found some difficulty in understanding the question. But this is straight question, and the option are straight jacketed. Samajhe? If you are finding that one thing, two of the statements are not supported by the passages. There is one confusion, and that is directly against the passages. So there is hardly any one option which is correct. Hai na? Now, question number 44. And this is again about the scientific narrative. How many questions we have discussed? It's already. $44 na?
Questions.
Huh?
We discussed 18 questions.
Acha, this will be 19th. Na?
This will be 19th.
Okay. So we'll try to discuss it a bit in a jaldi thoda sa, because the other teacher is waiting for that. Now in this question, the answer is directly A, because look for these lines in the passages. Scientific narrative are based on reality and evidence. 1. 2. Museum collections plays a role in verifying hypotheses about the world, essentially grounding the narrative in tangible evidences. Have you found it?
Yes.
Scientific narrative are based on reality and evidences. 1. Second, museum collection plays a role in verifying hypotheses about the world. So option 1 or option A, museum collections are primarily sources for constructive scientific narrative. This is right. Scientific narrative are unrelated to the context of museum collection. बहुत ही गलत है. ठीक है. Third, museum collections are solely responsible for future generation appreciation of the natural world. Fourth, future generation will inevitably appreciate dragon, elves and Pokemon more than the real animal. This is complete matter of conjecture. So this cannot be right. Okay, now philosophy question. So many philosophers, what can be the central theme as per this question? Vijay, Gaurav, Piyush, what is the main line? What are you supposed to find in this question which will solve the answer? That's why I tell you to read the question first. Okay. So you see that if you are finding philosophers passionately argue about certain skeptical beliefs. Passionately argues about certain skeptical beliefs. Have you found it? Second, despite their arguments, they continue to act in daily life contrary to the skeptical belief. Despite their arguments, they continue to act in daily life contrary to the skeptical beliefs. Huh? See, what is the meaning of the passages? That when you read the passage, you find it, and the other meaning you infer it. The second meaning is the inference. See the last line, Vijay, read the last line. It is surprising that so few modern defenders of skepticism have anything interesting to say about how to live with it or how to understand their spectacular conclusion. Okay. Now, option A, philosophical consistently act according to their philosophical belief. Okay, this is wrong. Philosophical rejects their philosophical beliefs when making a life daily decisions. Philosophical have no, this is right because this aligns with the passage which highlights that even they argue for spectacular beliefs, they act contrary to those beliefs in daily life. Third, this is wrong. Philosophical have no rational justification for their philosophical beliefs. Fourth, philosophical advocates for living a contrary life. Okay, so the explanation is that it emphasizes some philosopher passionately argues for certain beliefs, but then act contrary to those beliefs in their daily activities, showcasing an inconsistent between their professed beliefs and actions. According to passage, what is surprising about modern defender of skepticism? 52. What is primary criticism mentioned in the passage regarding some philosopher who advocate? What is the correct answer? C. How? You see, what is the core argument here? Philosophical passionately argues about skeptical belief. We have got it from that. Second, despite this arguments, they continue to act in way they are contrary to those beliefs in their daily lives. We have already discussed that in first part. Third, the critique is that they do not act in accordance with their professed beliefs, which makes them seem dishonest or contradictory. So, if we consider option 1, they are too honest in acknowledging their contradictory belief. So, this is not right. They consistently act in accordance with their skeptical conclusion. Again, this is opposite of what passage is suggesting. So this is not right. They lack rational justification for their skeptical beliefs. While the passage mentions that some philosopher concludes that we have no rational justification to believe these things, this is not presented as primary criticism. The main criticism is about their action, not justification. They put their money where their mouth is. This is straightforwardly mentioned in the question. So again, but the option opposite is passage criticism. The passage say they don't put their money where their mouth is. Isn't it? They don't put their money where their mouth is, indicating that they do not act in line with the stated belief. Now, 53rd, according to passage, what is surprising about modern defenders of? And you have to read the last line. Isn't it? I told you previously to read the last line. What is the core argument here? The surprise is that the modern defenders of criticism have little to offer in terms of insight or guidance on how to live with the understanding of the implication of the skeptical words. So the correct answer here will be C. They have interesting insights on how to live with the skeptical conclusion, because the surprise is that they don't have such insights. As the passage indicates, it is surprising that they have anything interesting to say on the topic. I think last 3 questions is remaining now. So 8 questions, 30 questions were asked. This is more than the UPSC wala. Okay.
UPSC also asking
25 to 30 question is the range, na? No. So in question number 61, answer is straightforward B. Why? We are not. Okay. 61, yes. Answer is straightforward B, because the passage makes a strong case that modern science and technology have played a significant role in causing the aforementioned crisis. Isn't it? While it does not squarely lay the blame entirely on them, as there are multiple factors at play. This is written in the passages. As there are multiple factors at play, the emphasis is clearly on their role. नहीं समझे विजय? Okay. Okay, fine. I will try to explain with the core argument. I was just trying to save the time for the maths wala class. Okay. Now, the C in 61, if we will consider, what assumptions can be made See, 61 answer is what? Science and technology. Science and technology are entirely responsible for the crisis mentioned in the passage. 61 B. So to understand the crisis of our time is that we have science without wisdom. This is mentioned in the passage. This is the crisis behind all the others. Indeed, just read it. Indeed, by the cause of an event, we mean a prior change that led to the event occurring. Then the advent of modern science and technology has caused all these crises. So what the author is explicitly trying to mention is that modern science and technology have caused the aforementioned crisis. The passage implies a direct relationship between advent and application of modern science and technology and the emergence of various crises. The term cause here, responsibility. Cause is meaning responsibility. So you see, science and technology is responsible for all the crises. But you see that in also saying that multiple factors are at play. You have to understand this point. Now, so moving to question number 62. Based on the passage, what assumptions can be made about the role of capitalism in the crisis of our time? Read the passage again with relevant to the capitalism wala part. So, capitalism is a factor in the modern times according to some historian and economist. So now the passage states that it is not that people become greedier or more wicked in the 19th century and 20th century, nor is the new economic system of capitalism responsible, as some historians and economics would have believed. So, from the statement, what we can deduce is that author does not believe capitalism to be the sole or primary cause of the crises. There are historians and economics who do assign some responsibility to the capitalism for the modern crisis. Thus, the passage acknowledges that there is a viewpoint held by some historian and economist which considers capitalism as a factor contributing to the crisis. So, C is the most fitting answer. Capitalism is a factor in the modern crisis. Is a factor, not the sole cause. Because author does not believe it. Some economists and historians are believing it. 63rd. is modern science has played a significant role in causing the crises mentioned. So the passage states that indeed, if by cause of an event we mean a prior change that led to the event occurring, then the advent of modern science and technology has caused all the crises. This directly asserts that modern science and technology play a causal role in various crises mentioned. However, B is not indicated in the passage. Option B. And C links advancement in the modern science to the crisis. While the annihilation of indigenous people is mentioned as one of the crises, the passage does not claim it is the primary result of the modern science. That's why D is also wrong. Now, modern science, so many passages are there from the science. Okay, so
Modern science has met with astonishing success in improving our knowledge. So, question number 71.
64.
Oh, 64 we have discussed now. Oh, sorry, AIDS. What can be inferred from the passage regarding the population growth and AIDS epidemic? Now, this has led to modern medicine and hygiene, to modern high production agriculture and industry, to population growth, to worldwide travel, which spread disease such as AIDS, and to destructive might of the technology of modern war and terrorism, conventional, chemical, biological, and nuclear. So, answer C, population growth and AIDS epidemic are facilitated by the modern science and technology. Question number 71 now. Answer is, what have you marked, Vijay? Gaurav, C. This is the correct answer. Answer C. The success of modern science can serve as a model for achieving a social progress. And the explanation is that the passage states that it is very success that is the cause of our modern problem. This indicates that success of science has led to some of the current problems, ruling out option A. Second, but instead of simply blaming science for our troubles, as some incline to do, rather not to learn from the failure of science, so from the success of science. This indicates that while some might blame science, the author suggests that we should instead learn from its success. है ना? The third part. We need to learn from the manner in which science makes progress towards greater knowledge and how we make societal progress towards greater wisdom. This directly supports option C. Option C. Option D is not directly supported by the passage, as it does not state that the success of science in the contrary reason for the lack of social progress. Okay. 72. 30 questions. Okay. So last three questions are remaining. 74. We are discussing 74.
No, sir, 72.
Achha, sorry, 72. 70 based on the passages. No, 72, 73 and 74. These are the only things which are remaining. No? Only three questions. So you see, in this question, 71, 72. The passage begins by stating that certain policies, specifically price controls and subsidies, ensure that ongoing risk of upheaval, both economic and political, in developing nations. This directly supports option B, as it suggests that these policies can lead to instability or upheaval in these countries. Option A is the opposite of what passage suggests. Option C is not supported, as there is no mention of intent behind these policies being to attract the multiple cooperation. Option D is not directly supported by passage either. While the passage mentions the global economical slowdown and does not directly attribute to the price controls and subsidy. So the most accurate in this case is option B only. Moving to question number 73. What assumptions can be inferred? Again, you see inferred. The explanation is that, these countries may have the money to make subsidy work today. if you can read that line. But over time, in view of global economic slowdown, these subsidies will become more difficult to maintain. This directly supports the idea that long-term sustainability of these subsidies may be challenged by the economic factor, specifically the global economic slowdown. That's why answer is D. Correct. 74. Answer is A. The passage indicates that certain countries have used these policies to avoid popular demonstration in the streets, and they have spent significant amount on the subsidy. The emphasis on avoiding domestic unrest and substantial financial outlay for subsidies point to domestic economic region as the primary motivation behind these policies. The passage does not specifically mention attracting foreign investment, the global economic slowdown influence on policy decision making, or international political standing as primary motivators. So option is option A is correct. You see, the problem is, okay, just do it. From next time, read the options, and you will realize that it is a better way to approach the and read it. Just try to find the core of the topic. Like I told you, in the some of the questions we have discussed, we just try to find the core of the argument. Mark it. Okay, so that's the best way to go about it. Thank you. Won't you be attending the maths class?
Let's begin. Hi, good afternoon everyone. We have already seen the discussion for English comprehension part, and now let us discuss the quant and reasoning section of the same paper. Okay, see, most of the questions were pretty much doable. We'll discuss a few of the questions. Let's start with question number 7. X and y are two positive prime numbers, and if x square minus 2y square equal to 1, then what is the value of x plus y? So this is the given equation, and we know that positive prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, so on. Let's try the substitution method. Take the first two smallest numbers. Let x equal to 2, y equal to 3. Let's try. X square is 2 square minus 2y. Okay. X equal to 3 and y equal to 2. So in this condition, if we take x equal to 3 and y equal to 2, this satisfies the equation, and we are asked about the value x plus y. So it would be 3 plus 2 equal to 5. But what if we take another values for x plus y? Suppose we take x equal to 5 and y equal to 3. It's 25 minus 2 into 9 equal to 25 minus 18, 7. But 5 plus 3 equal to 8. This would still not satisfy the problem. So the answer for this question would be D, none of the above. Let's see the next question. Okay, how many maximum squares can be created using 31 pencils of equal length? So there are more than one way we can solve this question, but we'll try the visualization. It would be easier for you to visualize. Just count the number of lines that I'm going to draw, and it would symbolize as if we are keeping the pencils together. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 15. So we have got at least 12 squares in this case. Now if we visualize, there are more squares. One, two, three, 4, 5, and this would be the 6th one. There are 6 more squares after that, and still we have more squares. The bigger squares, the 3 squares wala, 2. So total number of squares would be 2. B is the right answer. 20, sorry, not 2, it's 20. B is the right answer. Next, we'll see the Batman wala question. Okay, right. Batman was chasing his nemesis Joker on his bike. First he took a left turn and drove 5 kilometers and then turned 90-degree clockwise and drove another 10 kilometers. Right, see, let's draw. He starts from this point, he drove 5 kilometers, then he takes a 90-degree turn and drove for 10 kilometers. Then he takes a sharp right and he drove 5 kilometers. How far does he have to drive to reach the first turn? So the first turn is this point. And we are supposed to calculate the distance between this point and this point. Let this be x. This is a 90-degree angle. So we know the diagonal of a 90-degree angle triangle would be C is the right answer. Question 10. Ritu always, okay. Ritu always beats Neha in tennis. Ritu always beats Neha in tennis but loses to Priyanka. Priyanka wins. Runal usually beats Neha, so this is first. Runal beats Neha usually. That is most of the times. But Ritu cannot win against Priyanka. Okay, sometimes Ritu. Sometimes, so रुनाल और ऋतु में से दोनों में से कोई भी जीत सकता है. समटाइम्स है वहाँ पे, समटाइम्स ऋतु also wins. So just by analyzing these two things, we know that Neha usually loses in this scenario and Neha also loses in this scenario. So just by observation, this question does not need an explanation. Just by the observation, we can say that Neha is a player in this game of tennis who usually loses most of the times. Okay, let's see next question. Rajesh bought some chocolates from the store and gave one less than half to Mahesh. Okay, if we just read this question, the most important part is this one, gave one less than half to Mahesh. So just to know if we are distributing anything in half equal numbers, it has to be a even number. So option A and D in itself will eliminate. Now we have to calculate for just these two chocolates, 12 or 10. Let's try. We'll solve by 12. Just see. Ramesh bought some of the chocolates from the store and gave one less than half to Mahesh. So Mahesh got, suppose Rajesh initially bought 12 chocolates. So Mahesh would got 5. Then Rajesh gave 3 chocolates to Kamal. And then half of how much remains? Okay, this leaves us with 7 chocolates. 3 were given to Kamal. Then it leaves us with 4 chocolates. And he gave half of the remaining chocolates to Richa. He is still left with two chocolates. Then he gave 1 chocolate to Aman. And the remaining one he ate himself. Okay, right. So this satisfies the whole demand of the question. So the right answer would be 12. Option B, 12. Let's see next. Vijay traveled from Delhi to Jaipur at a speed of 96, half of the distance. Covered the rest on the bike at the speed of 60 and finally the rest at 40. So we all know the average speed ka formula. So if we take let's see, 60 and 40 is the first case. This would be our first case. And whatever value we get here, we'll again put it in the same equation, considering x is 96 and solving this part will give us the answer, that is A, 64 kmph. Let's see the next question. There are many students who are not very good in the formula, remembering and recalling the formula. So just we'll try to solve this question with the visualization method. Suppose this is the front face of the cube, and if we are supposed to cut it in 512 smaller cubes, we need to make at least 8 cubes on each side. And the similar thing would be repeated for all the three sides. We'll find that if we cut the smaller cube, if we cut the larger cube to get 512 smaller cubes, we need to make at least 8 cubes on each side. How many smaller cubes are surrounded by other cubes from each side? So the smaller cubes would be these ones. So these would be the smaller cubes. Now just count the number of smaller cubes on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So total number of cubes, smaller cubes would be 6 cube equal to 216. Option B is the right answer. If in a certain way fragrance is coded as okay given, then how can imposing be written using the same coding? So this would be the right decoding of the given codes, and if we just try to do the similar fashion for the imposing, we'll get the right answer. That would be D. You can do it. Do we need to discuss this question of tables golden on statement 1 and 2 conclusion? ठीक है, एक करके देखते हैं. So the statement given is some tables are golden. This is some tables are golden and all teaks are tables. All teaks are tables can this be all teaks are tables, and this is also correct if we just try to see all teaks are tables. Now let's check the conclusion. Some teaks are golden. Yes, some teaks are golden. It can be. And some golden are teaks. So only conclusion 1 follows. For question number 24, option A would be the right answer. Okay, question 25 is also the similar kind of question. Let's see. No man is a tiger. Karan is a man. Karan is not a tiger, yes. All men are not Karan. At least one of them is Karan. So in this case also only conclusion 1 follows. Option A. So rest 2 are also of the similar kind. I guess you can solve them. Okay, let's solve this question. The difference between cost price and the selling price of a table fan is 175. When it gives a profit of 14%. Okay, so 14% profit is actually 175 rupees. So selling price is more than the cost price, which is that is why it is giving 14% of profit. So we can find the cost price. Solving this equation, we'll get the cost price. Cost price would be now, but the question is asking us the selling price. So cost price plus profit of 175 will give the selling price of the fan. So answer C, 1425 is the right answer. Next question, a single discount equivalent to 3 successive discounts of 5, 10 and 20% is. ठीक है, 5, 10, 20, 64 एलिमिनेट होगा हमारा. ये हो नहीं सकता. This can't be the possibility and 24 cannot be the possibility. So the only two options remaining with us is B, 31.6% and D, 32%. So we all know how to find the consecutive how to find a cumulative discount for 3 or more than 2 consecutive discounts given. There is also, you can solve it by another method also. Suppose the original price is 100 and after discount it would be 95. After second discount it would become, second discount is 10%, so 95 minus 9.5, whatever comes. So this is very much simple ki 32 cannot be the answer. The only option remaining, the feasible option remains with us is B, 31.6%. Question 30 is very simple. 20 women and 20 men together build a 20-kilometer road in 20 days. 40 women and 40 men together can construct a 40-kilometer road in how many days? So the answer is 20 days. Option A. Let's see. $20 men working for 20 days, build a 20-kilometer road, and we need to find 40 women plus 40 men working for how many days will make, so their efficiency remains the same. You just equate these two equations and find the number of days. It would come 20 days. Let's try to solve some reasoning questions. It would be question number 37. If A plus B means A is the mother of B, so plus A minus B means A is the brother of B, A is the father of B, and A is the sister of. Which of the following shows that P is the maternal uncle of Q? Okay, let's try to substitute in option A. Brother, so Q is brother of N, plus means mother, N is the mother of M, and N2 means sister. Which of the following shows that P is the maternal uncle of Q? Simple. Let's exchange these two places. So it would be P minus M P would be the maternal uncle of Q. Option C is the right answer. 30th question is very, I guess, very simple. We need not to solve this question. 39th is also okay. If today is Monday, after 63 days it will again be Monday, 62nd day will be Sunday, and 61st day would be Saturday. Option C, Saturday is the right answer. You need 40. Let's try to solve question number 40. We need not to solve this question at all first. Just see this ratio 594. How many of these options are given in that ratio 594? 360, 160, 200. So A is given in the ratio of 9, 4, 5. B is given in the ratio of 9, 5, 4. C is given in the ratio of 5, 9, 4. Option D. सवाल ही पैदा नहीं, we need not to see further. Option C is the right answer because it's given in the ratio of 594. Find the number of coins of each type respectively. 50 paise, 25 paise, 10 paise would be 200 coins for 50 paise, 360 coins for 25 paise, and 160 coins for 10 paise. (46) cost price of an article is C and the selling price of the article is S, and X is the profit or the loss percentage. If both cost price and selling price are increased by the same amount, then which of the following is true? Let's see. If the cost price is 100 and let's suppose selling price is 120, profit would be 20%. If both cost price and the selling price are increased by the same amount, if cost price becomes 200, selling price becomes 220, now the profit margin remains just 10%. So if we increase the cost price and the selling price by the same amount, the profit percentage decreases. What if we try to solve it for the loss percentage also? What shall we take? 100? If suppose cost price is 100 and we sell it at 80, we make a loss of 20%. If they are increased by the same amount, cost price becomes 200, selling price becomes 180, loss percentage is reduced to 10%. So in both the cases, the X, which can either be the profit or the loss, if we increase the cost price and the selling price of the article by the same amount, both the profit percentage and the loss percentage would decrease. So option B, X decreases. Option B is the right answer. Rohan invested 7,000 in a business. After a few months, Mohan joined him with rupees 6,000. At the end of the year, the total profit was divided between them in the ratio of 2:1. How many months did Mohan join? After how many months did Mohan join? So, Rohan came with rupees 7,000. And it continued for the 12 months. Mohan came with rupees 6,000 after few months. So whatever it might be, it would be less than 12 months only. Suppose it comes, and we need to find the ratio of profit percentage. The profit is always shared among both in the ratio of their investment. So 7,000 into 12 Just solving this equation will give us the right answer. I guess you can solve it. C, 5 is the correct answer. Two numbers are 30% and 70% more than the third number. The ratio of these two numbers is let the third number be 100. First number is 30% more than 100, that is 130. Second number is 70% more than the third number, 170. And the question is asking the ratio between these two numbers. Option C, 13:17 is the right answer. Question number 49, find the missing number in a series is the easy question. We need not to do this. Question 50, in the following words, if the following words are arranged in a dictionary, which of the following will come in the middle? I guess there is some confusion in this question, but the right answer, let's see what the question, there are 4-5 words are given in this, na? Abundant is the first word, that is AB. Then we need to see between these four. The first two letters of all the words are same. We need to see the third letter. That is T, C, Q, H. And we have already had this first word at abundant. Second word would be accumulate. Third would be achieve. Fourth, fifth. I guess D, achieve, is the right answer. We'll see what the right answer is. If there is any corrections, we'll notify it. A person speaks the truth in 60% of the cases and B speaks the truth in 80% of the cases. What is the probability that they will say the same thing while describing a single event? And B speaks the truth in 80% of the cases. Okay, let's see the probability of speaking the, if both A and B speaks the truth, what would be the combined probability? So in this case, the total probability if they are describing the single event would be B 0. So option B 0.56 is the right answer. Okay, this must be the difficult one to solve. Let's solve. So this is the crack for this answer, for this question. Going in the similar fashion, if we just proceed, we'll see that just keep the find of the previous equation in the next equation. What we are actually doing is we are putting this is here and multiple is increasing and this addition is increasing by 1. If we keep on solving, going in the similar fashion, we'll see that the next would be 1855. After 5 steps, we can reach to that. Okay, question 60. Let's try to solve this question. Which of the following statements can be concluded? D is greater than E for sure, yes. D is equal to E, can be. Okay, X is greater than D हो गया, Y is less than equal to O. O and S, it is very difficult to establish a relation between O and S. We don't know. And option D, either A and B follows, yes. So for question number 60, the right answer would be D. A stairway of 20 feet height is such that every step accounts for half a foot upward and 1 foot forward. What distance will an ant travel if it starts from the ground level to reach the top of the stairway? So if the ant starts from here, it will need at least 40 upward steps to cover the height of 20 feet. What distance if it starts, and for every step that the ant takes, it will have to travel 1 foot horizontal also. So before reaching the top, suppose this is the height of 20 feet, the ant needs to travel at least 39 times. Option A, 59 feet is the right answer. Find the number of two-digit prime numbers which remain prime even on inverting the position of its digit. We can just count the number of these prime numbers. See, These are the 2-digit prime numbers. How many of them will remain a prime number if we invert their digits? 11, 13, 31 would still also remain a prime number. 17, 71 we have a prime number. It will also remain prime. 23, 32, 29, 31. After inverting the digits, it will remain a prime. 37 will remain a prime. 71 will remain a prime. 73 will remain a prime. 79 will remain a prime. And 97. So total number of 2-digit prime numbers which remain prime even after inverting their digits is 9. Option C is the right answer. Directions are given, we need to solve. Okay, P plus Q states that A minus B. Two meter west of Q. C. 2 meters south of Q. West of Q, west of C. D is 2 meter east of E. F plus P. F is 2 meter east of Q, yani F is 2 meter east of B. Then F is in which direction with respect to E? Southeast? Southeast direction. What is the shortest distance between D and B? We have already discussed how to find the diagonal of a right angle triangle. Just use that formula again. Okay, for both the questions 69 and 68, for 68 the right answer is A, southeast, and for question number 69 also the option A is the right answer, root 20 meter. Let's see the next question. There was a misprint in this question in the question paper, I guess. Most of you have corrected this question. It was B is the daughter-in-law of F whose husband has died, and after that I guess it was a doable question. Everybody must have done that. Okay, question number 75. Two numbers x and y are such that one is odd and the other is even. Which of the following statements is necessarily true? Take the smallest and try to solve. This is not necessary. X plus y is even. 1 plus 2 is 3 odd. This is also incorrect. This is the multiplication. Let's try by taking one more instance of x equal to 3 and y equal to 2. Again, this is incorrect. X plus y. Again incorrect. X raised to the power y into y. Even. Question number 75, in both the instances we have seen that x raised to the power y, when multiplied by y raised to the power x, it will always give an even number. So for question number 75, option C is the right answer. $76. So for any value of x which is greater than 0, y would at least be equal to 2, and it will further keep on increasing if you increase the value of x. So the most possible solution for this one is y would always be greater than or equal to 2. Option C is the right answer. Read the following information and answer the following questions accordingly. P, Q, R, S, T, U and V are sitting around a circular table facing the center. R is next to the left of U. Suppose this is U. This would be R. And V is second to the left of R. P is sitting third to the left of T. One, two, three, P. Q is between S and T. Question 77. Which of the following statement is true? S is sitting third to the left of U. U ka left 1, 2, 3, no, incorrect. R is sitting to the second right of T. T right first, second S, no, this is also incorrect. T is sitting third to the right of P. T is sitting third to the right of P. P ka right 1, 2, 3. P is sitting third to the right of T. Option C is the right answer. Let's see next. Which of the following pairs has the first person sitting to the immediate left of the second person? First person is sitting to the immediate left of the second person, so SV. S is sitting on the left of V. S is sitting on the left of V, R and P. R is on the right of P, T and U. T is on the right of U. PU. PU are not even sitting together. So for this one, option A is the right answer. S and V. Let's see the next question. What is the position of T? Second to the left of R. Second to the right of R is T. Fourth to the right of V. 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. Fourth to the right of V. Option B is the right answer. In which of the following options the middle person is sitting between the other two? U R T, U R T, nahin. V P R. Middle person is sitting between the other two. P is sitting between V and R. For question number 80, option B is the right answer. So we have discussed pretty much all the questions that were about that we need to discuss. We have done the visualization concept also, we have done the mathematical formulas also, we have done the arrangement wala question also, we have also discussed the speed distance wala question. So that's it for today, and this was a very simple question paper that we have set, given that this is the first AIPMT, and gradually we are going to increase our toughness and difficulty level of the further papers that we are going to conduct. So please do keep a watch, enroll and appear for the tests. So before your prelims examination next year, we will be conducting almost 10 more tests from now. And these 10 tests, both GS and CSAT, will give you a edge over other students and a confidence to appear for the prelims examination of UPSC CSE 2024. And just keep working hard, read, revise, that's all. These are the okay, what I usually tell my students is for any work that you need to do, for any passion or the studies or the sports, whatever it is, you just need to follow 4 or 5 simple tenets which helps you to take edge or leap forward than the other people. So this time it would be for you all guys who are watching online also, and for people who are here present. Eat well, sleep sufficient, and work hard, work out harder, and keep smiling, pray. These are 4 or 5 simple, crucial and simple tenets that we all need to follow. Okay, we have discussed all the questions, and thank you for today. Thank you for joining us today. And until we meet next, good luck for your studies. Thank you.